Canadian Society of Painters in Watercolour is hosting a watercolour critique on October 27th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. The event will be moderated by the internationally celebrated artist Jean Pedersen. The Education Committee sat down with our panel, accomplished watercolour artists and CSPWC members Ed Shawcross and Margaret Roseman, to chat about their ideas and what they look for when critiquing artwork. Here's your chance to sit back and listen for a few minutes as Margaret and Ed share their thoughts.
Well, realistically, because of what I've been doing over, say, the past really 25 years of teaching at the formal level in colleges and at that level for a variety of different disciplines, for illustration, for the animation industry, for the concept industry. I've been teaching life drawing and anatomy, basic drawing skills, painting skills, color theory. So I've kind of covered all of that. And one of the things I've realized working with younger people in particular, so beginners, they're back at that stage. Everybody wants to know the tools, and you need to know the tools, and you need to know techniques. But as they move through those year levels of year 1 through 4, and that's not much different than any one of us when we started out trying to work and create and learn our craft. One of the things that became really important for me is looking at not necessarily the accuracy of technique and the flawlessness of technique, but what people were doing from a personal point of view, creative. It comes down to voice. I really want to hear and I want to see people's voice. I don't want to look at copies of photographs. I don't want to look at copies of somebody else's work like fan art or that sort of thing. I'm interested in what the individual is doing with the tools, the techniques that is theirs. And it really comes down to voice. And if I'm seeing expression and really people reaching, pushing within the medium, within their craft, that's what's turning someone into a visual communicator that is unique. And the world needs more of that. As I constantly say to students, don't copy what I'm doing as a demonstration. This is me demonstrating an idea and a concept and a technique to you. Now you do something with that and show me. The world doesn't need another Ed, and it doesn't need robots. It needs people who have feelings and emotions, and they want to do something with all of this. And they've happened to choose, in this case, watercolor as the mode of expression. So now show me what you're doing with that. There you have it. That's what I'm interested in.
My philosophy has always been that it takes 5 years to learn the mechanics of handling the medium. And in those 5 years, they are the best time because you can make mistakes, you can try different things, you can copy anything you like because it's getting comfortable with the technique. And only after those 5 years where you are comfortable knowing the colors, knowing what tools to use, that's when you find your voice. So it's interesting how obviously, and you are teaching at a higher level at this particular time, and you want to push people to the extreme. I feel that initially you need to play. You need to just kind of explore, and then after all that practice and going through paper and paint and so on, then you can ask yourself, what do I want to say? What should my painting look like? Why should it be different than, or how it could be different to everyone else's? So hopefully we can accommodate the people who are still just learning, and then of course hit them with the real purpose of painting, and that is, how do you make it personal, but how do you make it uniquely your own? So that should be a nice beginning and ending, if you will, to our approach to critiquing stuff.
love that Venn diagram area, Margaret, that you said about play, because that's exactly what I constantly say to students, whether they're first year, fourth year, graduates that I keep in touch with, you got to keep playing.
It's the same thing. You have to learn the rules and then figure out how you're going to be bending them to your will.
We hope you will join the Canadian Society of Painters in Watercolor at this special critique night. Watercolor painters are invited to submit one painting for a chance to have your work included in the critique, or you may attend the event as a spectator. The last day to submit your work for consideration is October the 13th, but tickets are available right up to event time. For more information and to register, visit the CSPWC.ca.